Hello and welcome to another episode with ST Straight Talk with Sharanjit. And this week we have a very interesting topic to talk. Bangladesh. What happened, what is happening and what will happen in Bangladesh. Is Bangladesh a part of much larger plan? What happened in Bangladesh is part of much larger plan in the things to come. The global political scenario is changing at a rapid shift. What happened in Sri Lanka, what happened in Pakistan, and now what has happened in Bangladesh is up for debate. India is surrounded by its neighbors, and there was one very interesting article in one of the main news organizations from India that India is kind of held hostage by its geographic neighbors, and India will have to pay attention to what is happening in its neighborhood. This week we will talk about Bangladesh. Is the uprising in Bangladesh and Sheikh Hasina's hurried departure from Bangladesh part of a larger plan? Are there organizations which in US and all around the world are called deep state part of it? Do they have any part in these happenings, or were they just student protests? Also, the current caretaker government and its advisor in the government, Mr. Muhammad Yunus, who's a Nobel laureate and who was founder of Grameen Bank. His role is also up for debate and under suspicion because his links with the US and some organizations which are called deep state or are linked to deep state are also up for debate. We go decoding the long arm of the US deep state in Bangladesh unrest. But Washington's eye on St. Martin's Island for a military base, Muhammad Yunus's links with American organizations and Sheikh Hasina's direct charge at the US to have kept the pot burning. This is also this week's headline in the South Asian Insider Weekly, a premium US news weekly concentrating on the South Asian affairs. The newspaper has been in existence for 23 years, and I also happen to be the editor-in-chief and publisher of the newspaper. So, further, we'll talk about Bangladesh, what is happening in Bangladesh, what happened in Bangladesh. So the situation in present-day Bangladesh reflects a complex interplay of domestic politics, international influence and personal rivalries, particularly between ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, chief advisor of the new interim government that has taken charge of the country. Hasina has accused the United States of orchestrating her removal from power for refusing to allow a US air base on St. Martin's Island, a strategic Bangladeshi location in the Bay of Bengal. She has suggested that this refusal led to the foreign interference in her country's affairs, particularly in the form of the anti-quota student protests that she alleged were used to destabilize her government. At the same time, observers do not rule out the hand of the US deep state in the political upheaval in Bangladesh. The deep state refers to the clandestine network of powerful individuals or government or groups within the government or military that operates independently of elected officials to influence or control government policy and decision making in order to pursue its own agenda. The interim government that has taken over the reins of Bangladesh is perceived by some observers to be pro-US. The most prominent figure in this government is Yunus, founder of Grameen Bank and a globally recognized pioneer in microfinance. Known for his strong links with US organizations such as USAID and the Ford Foundation, Yunus is seen by some as aligned to US interests. The Ford Foundation is already under the scanner of Indian investigating agencies for allegedly pumping up anti-hate sentiment. The strained ties between Hasina and Yunus soured further after the latter suggested he might float a political outfit. Hasina viewed it as a direct challenge to her leadership. She accused Yunus of treating Grameen Bank as his personal property and the bank of undertaking unethical practices, such as the alleged diversion of $100 million meant for microcredit to a sister organization, Grameen Kalyan, in perpetrated violation of Bangladesh financial laws. Despite its global acclaim and contributions towards poverty alleviation, Yunus has faced legal challenges and scrutiny within Bangladesh. With his close ties to US entities fueling suspicion of alignment with foreign interests. This situation, however, underscored the broader tensions within Bangladesh, where issues of sovereignty, foreign influence, and political legitimacy are frequently contested, highlighting the delicate balance the country must maintain between domestic interests and international relations. The US had been pushing Bangladesh to offer St. Martin's Island for its military base. That is a well-known fact. Washington is seen as aiming to control the Bay of Bengal to underpin India and counter China by controlling the Malacca Strait, through which three-fourths of the global maritime shipping trade passes. Hasina has flatly refused to do so, going by the US record of fleecing vassal states through military bases. And Bangladesh US ties, this was the last straw. Now, if I say that I will leave out St. Martin's Island or our country, there will also be no problem for me to stay in power. I know that, Hasina said in a recent press statement, remarking on how the US wanted to build an air base in the Bay of Bengal. Hasina also accused the US of carving out a Christian country from parts of Bangladesh and Myanmar. Myanmar is a country which is bordering both India and Bangladesh, and it has been under military junta for a while. She claimed a white man who met her before the Bangladesh elections in January this year had assured her of facing no problems during the elections if she allowed them to build an airbase on Bangladesh territory. The US State Department, however, has said that any suggestion that Washington was involved in precipitating Hasina's resignation was absolutely untrue. Some observers have hinted at an orchestrated nexus aimed at ousting Hasina. In the current wave of protests that engulfs public and private universities in Bangladesh, among those involved are students of Barak University in Dhaka, BRAC University. BRAC University is a prominent participant in the project of the Open Society University Network, OSUN, founded by George Soros, a Hungarian-born American businessman. Incidentally, Soros has been a vocal critic of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in India, has been accused by the BJP of trying to interfere in India's democratic process. And BRAC University is parent organization. The Bangladeshi NGO BRAC is one of the world's largest non-profit setups. This was one of the views offered by the media outlets, respected media outlets, after the Bangladeshi unrests and student protests which led Sheikh Hasina to flee Bangladesh to India. So far, US, UK and many other Western countries have refused or delayed Sheikh Hasina's asylum or visit to their country. The US has flatly rejected her visitor visa. UK is asking that she should file for asylum in case Sheikh Hasina is interested from the country where she is. Recently, her son Sheikh Hasina's son, also hinted that she may go back. Sheikh Hasina also said in a statement that she may go back. What will happen in the future is up for debate. But Sri Lanka, already reeling under dire stress of Chinese loans, where it had to hand over port, then Bangladesh, then you have Myanmar, and then you have Pakistan, where there is a civilian government under the strict army oversight, and leader of opposition Imran Khan is in jail. India is besieged by these neighbors, and on the other hand, China has vested interests. An interesting case study is Maldives. Maldives' last government was ousted by a very vocal prime minister, and he was very vocal against India. But recently, it has taken a soft stance towards India as well. So India needs to tread very carefully diplomatically to maintain cordial relations, offer financial help where it's needed. In case in point in Afghanistan, where India withdrew its aid and personnel after US withdrew. But when Afghanistan's Taliban government recognized that they cannot do without aid and manpower and technical know-how of India, they invited Indian delegation, and India is offering tactical, financial, and personnel support. The big powers in that region, India and China, will square off sometime soon or in the long run in trade, finance, global rivalries, and maybe it's not ruled out a war. We do not like war. The world doesn't like war. War is catastrophic. War leads to millions of deaths and unspoken brutalities and unspoken tragedies and unspoken harsh treatments of innocent individuals. War is, however, good for some countries who are in power at the United Nations. We know all those countries. And there is another speculation that West is broke, and the only way for Western countries is some kind of snap or prolonged war, which we are already seeing between Israel and Hamas, which has a little bit extended to Hezbollah, which may also drag Iran within it as well. We will do a separate episode on what will happen if Iran is dragged into the war, which US will definitely have to come to the aid of Israel. There is another war going on in Russia and Ukraine, which has been prolonged, going on for a while. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to your suggestions. We run this organization with your support. We run this organization, South Asian Insider Weekly, Josh India Web TV, and our sister paper, Punjabi Dunya, with your support. We do not seek active advertisements because the landscape for media has changed. Earlier, what was possible, these days it's not possible, but what was earlier impossible is these days very much possible. With your little support, with a like and subscription to this channel, we may be on a long-term route to survival. We will be here, we were here, and I assure you we will be there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.